They say God works in mysterious ways. I don't doubt that now. You see, it all started for me last week. Okay, I'm a new Christian. I mean, I've been a Christian for about a year now, but that's a baby by most standards. I mean, there are people at this church I've been going to since I got saved. I mean, they have been Christians for years. Some of them their entire lives. That's not really me, though. See, I'm kind of the newbie. So anyway, my morning started like any other, coffee and prayer. Now, I might be a new Christian, but I know there are 3 areas God's really working on me in. First is my mom. Now, see, my mom and I have a difficult relationship. I mean, I can't do anything right according to her. Second is my weight. Now, I've lost about 20 pounds already, but, I still got about 10 more to lose. And third, it's baby steps for now, but third is my finances. See, I kind of have this little problem with buying things I don't really need. It's weird, though, because I don't really realize I don't need them until after I've already bought them. So anyway, I just gotten done praying and asking God to help me in these 3 areas, and I got a text on my phone. It said, "Be good." Now, the funny thing is, it was from a number I didn't recognize. 777-7777. Okay, so part of me wanted to think, oh my gosh, I just got a text from God, that is awesome. But then the rational part of my brain kicked in and said, a text? Really? Does God even know text speak? Come on. So anyway, I was a little weirded out, and I went and got ready for work, and I went out to my car, and I put the key in the ignition, and I turned it, and my car wouldn't start. I mean, I was out there for like 10 minutes trying to get the thing to start. I was freaking out, and my car would not start. I got another text on my phone then. It said, "Call your mom." Okay, God, if this really is you, you would know telling me to be good, then telling me to call my mom isn't gonna work. So I started calling everyone else in my phone. Nobody was home, nobody. So, okay, God, I get the idea. I'll call my mom. Hey, Mom. Hey, yeah, I know. I was gonna do it. Yeah, I know. Listen, Mom. I kind of, I have a favor to ask. My car broke down. Yeah, I know, Mom. I was gonna get. Listen, I need a ride to work. Okay. Okay, thanks, Mom. I really appreciate this. Okay, see you in a few. I had a text on my phone. Said, "Great. Yeah, God, exactly what I was thinking. Great." So Mom picks me up, and she drives me to work, and on the way to work, she decides we need to stop and get something to eat. So she pulls into the nearest McDonald's. Okay, God, I can handle this. I'm gonna be good. I'll just order a coffee, and while I'm in there, I won't breathe, so that way I won't smell the wonderfully delicious sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. See, I love them. So anyway, I go in, I order my coffee, I listen to the constant streams of complaints coming from my mother saying how I'm losing too much weight and I need to eat more and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I sit down, the girl from the register brings me my coffee, and you guessed it, a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. I quickly told the girl, I didn't order that, and she happily informs me that today, with every purchase of coffee, you get a free sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Lovely. I had a text on my phone then. ROTCL. That one took me a minute, but then I kind of smiled, imagining God rolling on the clouds laughing. Mom and I split the McGriddle, and she must have been happy to see me eating something because, the rest of the ride was pretty pleasant. I was kind of enjoying myself by the time she dropped me off at work. I thanked God for the time I had with my mom. And I got another text. He said, "You're welcome." So I worked all day trying to be good as God requested of me. Mom picked me up and drove me home, and as soon as I got home, my car would start. Imagine that. It was so cool. I could see God's hand through my entire day. It was so cool seeing him at work. I was going through my mail, and I got a letter from a previous employer. And I opened it up, and there was a check for $500. It was apparently unpaid sick leave. I was so happy because I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. I was going to pay off some of my credit card. So anyway, I hopped in the car to go to Wednesday night service. It started right away, of course. I was kind of smiling to myself, just thinking about how awesome God is. Service was amazing, and I couldn't help but thank God for my gift of $500. I got a text during the pastor's message then, and I realized I hadn't put my phone on vibrate. I did that quick, and I opened the message. It said, "See me?" Well, no, God. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm at church. There's a cross on the pulpit. I mean, your word's in every pew. Of course I see you. And I got another text. It said, "No, do you see me?" Well, no, God. I mean, I don't see you. I mean, I looked everywhere. There weren't any shining lights, no choir of angels. No, God, I don't see you. But then I saw him. There's this girl in the back row, and she had 2 kids with her. I heard my phone vibrate, and it said, "You see me." I thought so. What do I do? And he said, "Love me." So after service, I went up to the girl, and as I got closer, I realized she was just a kid, maybe 18, 19. One of the kids with her was just a baby. She looked kind of shy. I could tell she felt out of place. So I went over and I introduced myself, and I welcomed her to the church. We were talking, and my phone buzzed. Excuse me. Text said $500. I knew what God was getting at, so I went and I wrote out a check for $500, and I handed it to her. The girl started crying. She explained to me that earlier that day she'd gotten a text that said, "Go to church." And since this was the only church she knew, she walked 6 or 7 blocks just to get here with her 2 kids. She explained to me that she walked because her car was in the shop, and it was in the shop because she needed a new timing belt. And the mechanic said a timing belt cost about $500, and she had no idea how she was going to pay for it till now. God really does work in mysterious ways. I went to bed that night in awe of how amazing God is. I got another text. It said, TTYL, Matthew 25, 35 through 40. So I grabbed my Bible. This is what it said. "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" Then the king will answer them, "Truly I say to you, to the extent that you did it to one of these brothers of mine, even the least of them, you did it to me." Thank you, God. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you for reminding me to be good. And God, thank you for showing me you through that young lady. I love you, God. I got one last text. He said, "Love you too." God hasn't texted me since then, but he's spoken to me in other ways. He really does work in mysterious ways. If you look for him, you'll find him.